Hello, this is Justin McCullough, and this is the Bronx Movie Club. Producer, screenwriter, and director John Singleton, director of such classics as 1991 Boys in the Hood, 1993's Poetic Justice, and 2001's Baby Boy, among many other films, is currently in a coma as of this taping after suffering a stroke on April 17th. He's 51 years old. The news of his coma came out through court documents entered by his mother, Sheila Ward, seeking to be made a temporary proxy to make medical and financial decisions for him during this time. Kazuo Koike, manga writer, songwriter, screenwriter, and novelist, has passed away on April 17th of pneumonia. He was 82 years old. He is possibly best known in the United States for his classic manga series Lone Wolf and Cub and his Lady Snowblood. He also wrote the screenplays for the film versions of his books. His work has been influencing American filmmakers to this day. I got turned on to his work in the 90s after watching Shogun Assassin, an English-dubbed Americanized version of the first two Lone Wolf and Cub movies. It was way too bloody for TV, and I had to beg the clerks at my local video store to let me rent it. In the early 2000s, when the manga was first being released in America, I spent plenty of money down at the local comic book shop, buying up as many as I could afford. It was around then when I realized that he was involved in some of my favorite anime and movies, such as Crying Freeman and Lady Snowblood. So of course I had to read and watch more of that also. What I liked about his books was all the research and history that was put into the stories. They weren't just action and slasher samurai movies. Lone Wolf and Cub is a fictional story set within an actual conflict between three of the most powerful clans in Shogun-era Japan. Lady Snowblood took place in post-Shogunate Japan, where constitutional monarchy is really just finding its legs and taking place. Lovers of classic and foreign film now have a new place to watch classic movies now that the Filmstruck service is dead and gone. The Criterion channel finally opened its movie streaming service this month, offering everything on Criterion's extensive American and foreign classic and contemporary film catalog. Much like Filmstruck, Criterion makes its films available to stream individually, as well as curating these films like many online film festivals and retrospectives. Speaking of online film streaming apps, Disney is set to release its own film and TV streaming service, Disney Plus, on November 12, 2019. It boasts that they will open up the Disney vaults and make virtually the entirety of Disney's film catalog available, which includes Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic. There'll also be exclusive TV shows on the app, such as Star Wars The Mandalorian, and Marvel's Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Scarlet Vision. I say virtually because there is at least one classic film that Mickey will prefer to keep under wraps. Harvey Foster and Wilfred Jackson's Song of the South from 1946 is a mix of live-action and animation children's film about Uncle Remus and his stories about Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. The film takes place during the Reconstruction period in the South that took place right after the Civil War ended. A 7-year-old white boy named Johnny befriends Uncle Remus, who is a black plantation worker and former slave, while living with his grandmother, visiting his grandmother's plantation. Remus tells stories about Brer Rabbit, Fox, and Bear in order to help the boy cope with the challenges that he is facing living on the plantation. Uncle Remus has been thought of as yet another example of the Uncle Tom or magical Negro trope in American films, where a black character acts as a supporting character to ensure that a white character is able to achieve his goal. The film is also very problematic in the way it glosses over the realities of slavery and how terrible it actually is. Disney is also editing out certain scenes from its 1941 animated movie Dumbo. They are actually editing out the characters of the crows: Fat Crow, Straw Hat Crow, Glasses Crow, Preacher Crow, and their leader Jim Crow. These crows are stereotypical black coon roles. For some reason, these characters were made to sound like ignorant black folks. And in case the racial subtext wasn't clear enough, one of the crows is actually named Jim Crow, after the series of racial laws created in the South after the end of the Civil War and the emancipation of slaves. The argument is that things like this shouldn't be censored and made available to everyone to watch, with the thought that this is how people used to think, and people don't think that way anymore. But personally, I believe that if this is really not how people think anymore, why do people want to watch it so bad? You know, if You know, if it's so racial and it's bad for 2019 sensibilities, then why do you want to watch it? It's bad, right? You just saw a segment of the Bronx Movie Club hosted by me, Justin McCullough. If you like what you see, please do not hesitate. Click on the subscribe button down below, click on the little bell up there, and click the like button because you obviously like the program. You can see other segments of my show, which I have in my video section. I have the most anticipated movies of 2019. I have some reviews that you would like to watch, things of that nature. And you can also catch me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Stardust, Letterboxd, you name it, I'm there. So, yeah, I'll see you soon.